She's wearing her Mariah Carey sweater. Mariah
And does
Carey
that not look
touring.
like the Countess Luann?
She looks so Countess in that picture. Yeah, the brows.
Yeah. This is Countess coded.
It looks like the Countess back when she was like a nurse who was on Italian game shows.
And right here, Mariah doesn't have a nose.
No, it's airbrushed out.
I love it.
Which is, I think, like, she probably had, like,
She created that.
full approval over that
Yeah,
picture.
she
Just
created the airbrushing to the point of no nostrils.
Yeah. I'm glad she's having a Christmas comeback tour.
Well, she does every November 1st.
She does? She goes on tour?
I think so. She always does like a few shows. Yeah, it's her.
Oh, really?
It's like her time to shine. Like
Maybe it's
every
just
year.
that she came to Dallas for once.
Oh yeah. I mean, why would she have to be anywhere? I wouldn't if I was her.
No, it's so cool of her to
Yeah, it's so cool
do
of
that.
her.
It's really cool of her. Like, it's big of her too.
It's so big of her.
I'm being sincere.
Oh, now I remembered the J-Lo thing. She's like doing the Whitney Houston tribute or something at the Grammys.
Oh.
So
why
I don't
does she
know.
keep
I don't know. I don't
clowning
know.
herself?
I don't know, but see if it's Whitney Houston after a certain period, I think J-Lo could pull it off.
So it's like a montage of reality show clips?
That or like when her voice is kind of shot from the drugs.
I just still think that she still was a better singer than J-Lo.
Yeah, so J-Lo's done some really weird things at the Grammys. Like she did the Motown tribute.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of weird. And now the Whitney Houston, like I don't know why we can't not have J-Lo do those things.
But it's kind of on brand. Like, kind of now her brand is clowning herself.
And
I
getting
kind of
divorced.
love it.
Yeah. Whatever. You know what? I hope she never gets married again, though. She shouldn't.
She makes a great flop queen. Like, now we really can stand because she's really leaning into her. I think she's most powerful as a flop queen. Like Angie K from Salt Lake City.
Oh my God.
Who really came to the height of her flop queen powers.
I'm obsessed with her right now, Lord.
Yeah.
I'll never stop being shaking. We need to talk about this episode right now because I think it's one of the greatest episodes never told.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. But okay, good morning, students. I am Lauren, by the way, if you didn't know by now. And that's Michele, if you didn't know.
Michele.
She's Michele. And we are recapping Meredith's bar mitzvah episode of Hot Mitzvah. Sorry.
Spots are for girls. We love our butts.
Of Salt Lake City. Wait, Michele. Clear this up for the students once and for all. Are you Jewish?
Oh my God.
I haven't asked because,
I mean, I was...
be polite.
I was raised Jewish.
Were you mitzvahed?
I was. I did have a bat mitzvah.
Oh my gosh. Was it to the soaring heights of Meredith's ski lodge extravaganza?
Well, so I didn't have a bat mitzvah at a ski lodge. I did have a bat mitzvah at a hotel. And I tried sneaking out of my own party to make out with Justin Silverstein. He had a peanut allergy.
So you were like, I can't eat any peanuts all night or I'll murder him.
I made sure when we ordered the food and the cake that I told my mom that it had to be like nut free.
Oh my God. That's so cute.
He didn't make out with me.
Oh.
It's okay. So I wish we did have nuts in that cake.
Yeah.
Speaking of nuts, there were so many nuts at Meredith's bat mitzvah.
Chock full of nuts.
Chock full of nuts. I thought I was watching an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, for me, like, okay, so Michele built this episode up a lot to me, and I was like, okay, it's starting a little slow for me. I must admit.
I was live tweeting it. I was talking to you about it as I was watching it in real time. I also didn't realize you hadn't watched it yet, so I just was saying things.
Well, the first thing that really stood out to me is that there are so many confessional looks this season on Salt Lake City. We were introduced to 2 new confessional looks from each of the ladies this episode alone.
Yeah, they have
What's going on?
They have a lot to talk about, and they have stylists galore in Salt Lake now because that's where all of the shows are being filmed. It's the new Vancouver.
Yeah. Do they have subsidies there?
I hope
they would
not.
be smart to get some subsidies.
I hope they're not union.
To incentivize shooting. So... yeah, so I was surprised. Heather's talking about, like, Heather's at the bat mitzvah, and she's talking about, like, how many bar and bat mitzvahs she went to growing up. And I was like, that's like a larger Jewish community than I thought.
Well, she said, Jason also was confused. Yeah, so she said she grew up in, like, Denver. So there's, like,
okay.
I didn't know there were a lot of Jews in Denver, but there are.
Or Mormons, even. Well, there's a lot of white people, so you're going to get all kinds of that type of stuff.
I guess Heather's just always lived in a ski town. So the one that she used to live in, I guess there were a lot of Jews. At least she's probably saying she went to a lot, and it was probably like 3.
Yeah, exaggerating.
Yeah,
as always.
As she does.
So yeah, everyone's outfits are crazy for this
Crazy.
bar mitzvah. So it's like it's at a ski lodge. It's cold as
Including
shit.
including Meredith's. Also,
Well,
the way that okay, we need to talk about the way that she arrives to her own bat mitzvah, which is very Christmas coded.
yes, in a
She
horse-drawn sleigh with 8
a
tiny
one
reindeer.
horse open sleigh.
Yeah,
It's crazy. There's snow everywhere. It looks like a fucking Christmas card, but it's her bat mitzvah. She's
yeah.
now
Well,
becoming a woman. That's a bar and bat mitzvah, if you don't know, is when you become a adult in the Jewish community. So it's
mhm,
usually when you're 12 or 13.
yeah. But I mean, it's not like unheard of to get bar or bat mitzvah
The way
older.
this one happened is
It's a
very
little
unheard of.
well, she wasn't raised Jewish, was she? Like
I don't know.
she converted with when she married Seth, I thought.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe
Okay, so
this
let's
is
talk
false
about the
advertising.
outfits. Let's talk about the fits.
Okay, let's
People
talk about the
follow
fits.
us for our fit talk.
Okay, so Heather is giving me mother of the bride. She is
Mm.
like long sleeved white dress covering the arms and also looks cold.
It
And
is
then
cold.
it's cold as shit. Like she needs a coat. And also, yeah, speaking of people who are cold, Lisa is wearing sunglasses and a black
Yeah.
tube dress,
Yeah.
no coat.
No coat.
And the whole like waiting for the, the big arrival is all
Yeah.
outside on the ski lodge porch.
All
I'm like, she
outside.
must be
And
cold as fuck.
nobody's wearing a coat. That
But
is main cast.
yeah, but I gotta say, Lisa, I think, looks chic as fuck. And I think she's the most dressed appropriately because Meredith kind of owns them all because everyone's dressed like cocktail party or
Well,
wedding. And then she
Lisa
comes
is kind of dressed
other
that
than
way.
Lisa, yeah, but like Meredith's in just like a little white mod suit, and so everyone's wildly overdressed and looks like fools.
Yeah. Bronwyn, obviously.
Bronwyn is
She's
very
she,
junior.
okay,
Like
do you know what her okay, so Meredith is wearing like a two-piece a crop top, but she's wearing like a crop top. She might have a jacket, I don't know. But you know what it reminded me of? The one and
Clueless.
only Sheena Shea's wedding dress to Mike Shea.
Crop top wedding dress. Yeah, that was Bronwyn's look
It was
for
very
sure.
it was very Sheena coded to
It
me.
was very like honestly like I'm like we're Britani and Bronwyn intentionally giving a shout out to like 13-year-olds bar and bat mitzvahs because that's what they looked more dressed for.
Right.
Is
Like,
more of
yes,
like a
the junior
child's
section.
yeah
Yes.
junior section outfit.
Right.
And Bronwyn I really liked her marabou like little coatlets.
Oh, a coatlet.
Yeah, that was cute, her little, like, marabou wrap thing, but Britani went full juniors, and boy, does she get red for all of
She's
her
very
fashion choices.
limited too.
Very limited too, very, like, fluffy,
Yeah.
First, the, design challenge on Drag Race where you get eliminated first for looking too boxy kind of outfit, and then, of course, like, pieces all over the hair, like, the tracks, the
Well,
little
we'll
tucked
get
in
it.
pieces. We'll get into that
We'll
more,
get
but
into that more, but it's a doozy.
and then, according to Lisa, she has bridge and tunnel nails. She's got the little jewels on the nails.
Yes, and okay, we also
That's
have
early. That's early.
the SLC editors are the best editors of all of the franchises
See,
for
I've
me.
gotta say,
I love it.
usually they're not I feel like it's a little much for me sometimes, but this episode, I thought it worked perfectly. I
Really.
loved all the camp touches. I loved all the winky winky. Sometimes it's like a little too try hard, which already the girls are giving us try hard. So I'm like, I don't need it from the editors.
You don't need it. But I did like when they said like there was the definition of what bridge and tunnel is if you
I
are
liked
watching
that.
and you
Yes,
don't know.
it worked perfectly with this episode. I love the editing on this episode.
Yeah,
I will agree.
I love
And I love
yeah, I loved
the
it.
foreshadowing we got on Brittany's look being like considered a little, a little trashy by the ladies, considered a little, even though everyone's dressed crazy, it's
High body count.
it's good that we got this Chekhov's nails
Yeah.
of like, but Brittany is considered dressed the craziest by the
Yeah.
ladies. And that
She's-
really set the plot
Which
going.
is hard to do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really hard
Really
to
hard to do, especially because
but-
Whitney is dressed like the president in a porno.
And I forgot she was there.
Yeah, she doesn't do much. She's
She
like
does not do
in this tight, slicked back chignon and like pearls, and then like a bustier with like a wrap dress over
Right,
it. Like
right.
it's very like, oh, get into my office. I'm your
Happy
boss, and
birthday.
you've been a bad
Yeah.
accountant.
Happy birthday, Mr. President, but like
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Not in a
And
good
then
way.
we have Melee. Who?
She's in our segment. She's there. She's there
Oh,
every
she's
like
there.
7th episode. I see.
And I do like the way the editors are
She's wearing a
not giving
jacket.
her anything, just showing her in the background. Like, we don't even have time for
We don't
her.
have time, like, fine, we'll have her showing up, and they probably told her to wear a jacket so she would stick out from the cast.
Yes, yes. She is so beautiful, though, I will say.
She's gorgeous and boring.
Yeah,
Bad combo.
bad
Bad
combo.
combo for reality TV.
You have to at least be funny like Kiki if you're gonna be
Yeah.
gorgeous and the boring in the background. Although Kiki stepped up last season. All right, so Mary is not coming to this because Mary's got a lot on her plate, and her like friendship with Meredith is a little frittered.
Rocky.
Yeah.
But is she coming?
But is she coming? We'll see. And Britani is talking with Bronwyn. She's still mad at Angie for Angie saying she's doing 3 guys.
Right.
When that's so sensitive to her as a Mormon.
Because she's not. Wait, okay, we have to talk about this really quick with Britani. Okay, she showed up to the bat mitzvah holding a bottle of wine.
Yes, and everyone's
Yes,
like,
again.
well.
So it's okay for the Jews.
And it's really, I think Whitney hit the nail on the head where Brittany's like pissed that Angie brought wine to her church party because her friends, her husband's on again, off again boyfriend doesn't know she drinks because he's like a hardcore Mormon, and she's more like
he's an Osmond Mormon, and those are real.
That's like the gold level. The platinum card member.
Platinum, yeah.
Mormon.
So
That's like you're getting your own planet.
Yeah, it's like it's like Joseph Smith, and then like right under that is like all the Osmonds.
All the Osmonds, exactly.
Right.
So Brittany is still mad about the doing 3 guys thing, and she says that Angie's only saying that because she and Sean are probably doing 3 guys.
Right.
And that Angie does all this stuff for attention.
Right. And keep in mind, folks, this is a religious event. This is a very like
somber,
Well, it's not usually it's celebratory. It's a big party, but it is like a very big moment in a Jewish person's life. It's one of the biggest. Like it's up there with like a wedding in terms of like how important it is, because you're being recognized as an adult for the first time in the Jewish community. You're really being seen as like a leader. So this is all happening at this event in a ski lodge.
In a ski lodge.
But
the ski lodge, honestly, it was like a little bit churchy.
It was a little. It was a synagogue. It was giving synagogue chic. It was synagogue chic.
It was like the high ceilings, and then it has like kind of a stage area. Like it took me a while to realize, like, okay, this is just a ski lodge, not a synagogue ski lodge that they have for any kind of like religious or
I
can for weddings a lot, like a ski marriage.
Right. She did get a real rabbi. And she had a real Torah. She wasn't reading from the Torah, because if you saw, there was like paper on top of it. She had it like she wasn't reading the Hebrew. She had it sort of written in
phonetically. Yeah.
In English.
Yeah.
I actually want everyone to know I did actually learn to read Hebrew, and I did read from the Torah in Hebrew.
Wow. Do you remember any?
I don't remember the part that I read from the Torah, but I do like remember a lot of like Jewish prayers and stuff. I mean, I went to Hebrew school. Jason was asking me about this. He's like,
you went to Hebrew school?
Oh, sweetie. Yeah.
My gosh.
I went to Hebrew school from like, I mean, because you actually have to learn how to read Hebrew when you're a Jewish child, if you're going to like temple and stuff. Yeah. I mean, probably from like age like 7, 8 up until I had my bat mitzvah when I was 13.
Wow.
So there was a time, guys, when I could actually read from right to left.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you can't read at all.
I can't read at all. And it's actually better that way. I recommend it for all women. I can only read Reddit.
Yeah, same.
And so when people ask, like, did you read it? And I'll say, I read it.
I read it.
I read it.
Well, I read it.
I read it.
So then, so Brittany and Bronwyn are, because Bronwyn, in the last episode, Angie kept telling her to shut the fuck up.
Right.
They're both kind of like allied a little bit against Angie.
Yeah, so it's like you can only say shut the fuck up so many times before it's actually rude.
Yeah, so true.
And she said it one too many times, so then it was rude.
Yes. So then Meredith's mom is there. Meredith's mom looks exactly like Angie to me.
Oh my God, don't say that, but kind of. Now I see it completely.
Yeah, they just have like both beautiful still faces, like Egyptian death masks, and like the long dark hair.
Right.
It's beautiful.
The sarcophagus.
Yes. Cleopatra coming at you. So then Lisa reminds us that she was Jewish and her family converted to
Right.
Mormonism. And yeah, I don't know, we might need to cut this, but it seems like a lot of the reason that Meredith is doing this is because of
Was
like
it
the
is.
rise in anti-Semitism.
She said that.
Yeah,
She wanted to publicly, proudly proclaim her heritage.
yeah.
So it makes me think that she didn't convert. A lot
Mhm.
of people could have been like Jewish and not have the bat mitzvah or bar mitzvah. They are expensive.
Yeah.
And it's the
I
whole
think that was
thing.
her. I'm pretty sure she
Well,
converted, but
anyway,
she just
she's
never
a
got mitzvah.
loud,
Loud and proud.
proud Jewish woman,
Yes.
proud woman of faith.
And it seems like her kids were mitzvahed too, because even her son, who is never on cameras,
We'd never seen him.
yep, all
We've
of a
never
sudden
seen
pops
him.
in.
He
Yeah.
pops in, and we're not talking about Brooks Marks.
No,
He makes his presence known every time.
of always. Yeah.
He's such a star.
He is. He really is. I'm glad that he's back. And even though like I definitely thought he would be background on this episode, he manages to play a large part in the plot.
He does. So if we want to talk like the ceremony, the actual bat mitzvah where she's reading from the Torah, which is, if you don't know what Torah is, it's the Old Testament is what the Torah is. It's scrolls. It's all the Old Testament written in Hebrew. But I want to sort of glaze over that part. So to quote one of my favorite Jewish TV shows, yada, yada, yada. And then Mary shows up late.
Yes, so Mary decides she does want to come because Mary, religion is obviously so important
So important to her.
and so she wants to, extend an olive branch and support Meredith and her.
Women supporting women.
Yes, so important. Mary shows up, about an hour into the ceremony,
Right.
and instead of like any other cast member would have done, asking the camera
Where's
crew,
the door?
"Where's the door?" She does not. She said, "You know what? I got this." And so she is peering into the tinted windows, which you cannot see through, of the ski lodge. And she just keeps going from tinted window wall to tinted window wall, thinking, maybe this will be the wall where I can see in. Maybe this will be where the door is, asking for no help, just still peering until she really settles on the wall behind where the stage is, where
Meredith is reading with the
Meredith is
rabbi.
reading, where probably she can faintly hear, like, oh, maybe I'm right by the stage, but she really posts up there and spends a good 10 minutes just peering in as all of the audience points and looks at
they're
her.
horrified, and she's got a beautiful gown on.
Yes, a beautiful blazer, beautiful gown, beautiful lingerie top.
I feel like it was such a miss for the producers to not put in like down, down, down.
Yes. Yeah, the editors, if you're listening, next
Editors
time,
in chief.
when you flash back, definitely play that. And then she finally
finds the door,
strolls in at the very end during Meredith's speech, where she's like crying, and in fact, it's silence because Meredith is crying too hard to finish her speech, and Mary's like, "Excuse me, can you move over?" It's like, just stand in the back. My God, it's just like scooting all the way through the row to find a place to sit for 2 minutes while Meredith wraps it up in complete silence.
That's all Mary needed, because she will later tell Meredith what a beautiful ceremony it was and how great it was to see her up there reading and
right. So then, ceremony wraps up, and there's a what did you think of these fondue troughs?
Okay.
So it's
I texted you about what I thought of the food. Remember, like the big thing I texted? There's ham being served.
The ham, yeah.
I know not everybody is up to speed on Jewish, what you can eat in like the Jewish religion and being kosher, but pork is something you are not really supposed to eat. You're not really supposed to eat meat and cheese mixed, and you're not really supposed to eat like bottom feeders like shellfish, Bethany, but like
or caviar.
Pork is like the
number one. Yeah.
Number one, not on the call list.
Because it's Old Testament. It's like, thou shalt not touch a pig's carcass.
What literally Meredith was just reading from.
Wait, can Jews play football?
Oh,
that's a pig's carcass.
You don't see a lot of tough but fair. So yeah, the fact that it's not just any old ham. It's they're slicing ham at this.
And then you can you can get your big slice of ham and put it under the fondue trough and mix it up, and then put a big heaping portion of caviar on top.
Or what does Brooks Marks call it? It's not fondue, it's raclette.
Raclette.
Because remember, he's asking his mom and I think like his aunt or something. He's like, you've never had raclette. This is like my favorite part of the episode, though. He's like looking at him. He's like, you've never had raclette? And they were like, no. And they were like, do you know what it is? And they were like, we don't. And he's like, what? Oh my God. I thought it was like a common thing. And it's not, because Lauren even just called it fondue.
Well, that's what Heather called it too. I'm crass like her.
It's raclette.
I just want to talk about the setup a little, where it's like, is that the traditional setup where it's by
No.
a fireplace and there's a bunch of big metal like tubes that he's dripping from one to another?
Oh, it doesn't typically have like a Christmas cabin lodge feel to a Jewish religious party. No, it's typically, I mean, all the bar bat mitzvahs I've been to are not, there's not really a fireplace. It's usually always at a hotel. There's a DJ, there's dancing, but it is like a party for children. Like there's a cake. And also, okay, this was the other thing. It's always your birthday. So it's always on your birthday. This was not Meredith's birthday. So that made it even weirder that she had it and not did it on her birthday, because it always is your birthday party.
Oh, interesting. Even when people do it older, it's generally
I haven't seen it done older, but I think, because it's usually like your birthday party.
Oh, yeah, you're 13. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there wasn't, I guess, was there a cake there? I don't know. I was so focused on the ham. Like the audacity of that was
the audacity
crazy.
of ham.
And that they actually cut to the slicing of the ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. And the raclette. It was also just a random food. Didn't you feel like it was just so random?
It was a really well. It was like, I guess maybe that was just what we chose to cut to, where it was just like all of the non-kosher stuff. We got the ham, we got the fish, we got the cheese, we got people mixing them. You know.
Yeah, we got them mixed them around, and then there's like a full bar. You don't typically see a full bar because the kids can't drink, but like adults do. But I haven't seen like full. I've seen like wine and beer.
I see
things.
Yeah. Well, I guess concessions that had to be made to have it be on camera.
Right. And Mary gets some red wine, and she says to Meredith, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like, and I was like, I've never related to her more, to be honest.
I don't like
this. Every time I'm like, maybe a glass of red wine will be good. I have one sip and I'm like, I still hate this. This is so gross.
Red wine. I haven't had it in years.
I think it's okay if I can cut it with some cranberry juice. Make a little cocktail.
I'm sorry. We need to talk about this right now. Everyone, nobody is drinking red wine and not looking insane to me, because you have like
the ring. Yeah.
The ring of fire.
It looks like perioral dermatitis.
Yeah. And maybe it's only me, because I have seen other people drink red wine and they don't look like that. But I can't drink red wine without looking like I just ate a bunch of purple Play-Doh.
Same. And it's also so full of sulfites that like I take like smell it and my face is red with
rosacea, and I have a migraine.
5 times out of 10 when I drank it, back when I used to be like, I'll drink whatever, I would throw up after
all the time.
half a glass.
You throw up and it's purple in there.
And it's purple.
It's purple.
And then the night's over once you
look
barf
like you
purple.
Just threw up Barney.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Not a good look, ladies.
With your brown teeth.
With your brown teeth and your purple lips.
It's the first time Mary has ever been relatable, in my opinion.
Right.
Also, another way she was relatable, she was wearing like Amazon rhinestone fishnet gloves, which I have the same pair.
I know.
I was like, it's Mary, these cheap ass drag gloves. I love it.
So relatable, a drag glove.
But Mary and Meredith, they make up. Mary's like,
and I have to say that did feel authentic. That moment to me.
Yes, it did feel authentic. And also the editor's blowing up Heather's spot by Heather saying, oh, it looks like Meredith and Mary are making up because Meredith doesn't have a rash all over her body like when she gets upset.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch, you are
that's
harsh
dirty.
for that.
Yeah, and that happens to me too. When I get like mad or excited, I like break out, especially if I've been drinking red wine.
Yes.
I'll have splotches all over my tits.
It's something that like I've had friends where that happens and they're very self-conscious about it. They're always like, do I have a rash right now? And for Meredith to like say it when the cameras are right there, I'm like, or for Heather to say that about Meredith, I was like, that's dirty, girl. That's some really underhanded below the belt.
It was, she doesn't look inbred, like Mary said, but she does act like it sometimes.
Yes. Also, Angie and Lisa make up.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. I think they're just like Angie has too many enemies to keep
I
holding a
know.
grudge.
And Lisa's like, you know what? I guess like you are Center Snowflake. But I want to talk about before that, I want to talk about Bronwyn and Brittany. That was
That's
so good.
after.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about it after.
Okay, so
Jason, cut
then
that.
so then Angie, now Angie's on like her apology tour, and
Right.
so she's like, okay, now I'll apologize to or Bronwyn, or
She's
really
going around
Bronwyn
the
should
room.
apologize to me.
Yeah.
So Bronwyn is like not having it at
He's not
all.
having a good
She
day.
is
I don't
coming at her hard. Like,
Well, yeah. She didn't look happy to be there.
yeah. And Angie
I
was
think it's
like,
because Todd's there. Todd
I
doesn't like her.
well, yeah. So Angie and like is kind of trying to make peace, and Bronwyn is just like
Get the fuck away from
snipping.
me.
Yeah, she's like, it was too many shut the fuck ups. And then Angie's like, like I will apologize, and Bronwyn's like, what?
Whatever.
Yeah, that's not how you apologize. You apologize by saying I'm sorry, not that you're going
Yeah.
to say I'm sorry.
Right.
And
Okay, Bronwyn. Okay. I don't know
this
how
was
to.
this was
Okay,
a wild episode for her, I gotta say.
it is, I think, really liked by a lot of fans. I like her.
I,
I don't just,
I thought
but
this would make the casuals hate her this episode,
but
because
this
she's
is
doing a
like she's
lot.
doing a lot. It is giving like big like main character energy, and
Yeah.
it's like, girl, you're not even like a full season in. You know what I'm saying?
I was
And
like
it's not
worried for her this
it's
episode, where it's like she was burning every single. Now she's gotten in a
no,
fight with
she's
every
walking around.
single
She's
girl.
burning, and her husband. Like, there is not a person at this party that she's not like pissing off completely.
But see, this is what I liked about it. It didn't seem like, oh, she's just really trying to like stay on camera.
Yeah, she
It
just
was
seems
like
mad.
she's in a real
She's
bad place with
pissed.
Todd.
Yeah.
She's like projecting it on everyone.
I
you
don't know
know
why Todd's there. He does not want. He only shows up to scold her in front
Well,
of her colleagues.
Here's what I got. So Todd steps in to rescue Bronwyn during this Angie Bronwyn apology gone wrong, because
Right.
Bronwyn has made it go sideways. And he's like,
Right.
can I get one of you a drink? And then Bronwyn immediately jumps on him and is like, well, don't offer her a drink. And then they go get a drink.
Yeah.
And Todd's like, look, I was obviously, Bronwyn had been like, you were an asshole on camera and everyone thinks you're an asshole. Don't be so mean to these women. And so he's like,
Right.
well, I was trying to be like nice. And she's
Diffuse
like,
the situation, get you away from that situation. It's like his wife did look like she was mad at this person. He was probably just like, let me get you out of here.
yeah. And she's like, well, then, it's like, you're apologizing for me. And they're like having this like under the breath fight while they're ordering a drink. And Bronwyn is also relatable in this moment. She's like, yeah, we'll just have, a vodka soda and a wine. Sorry that you're having a hero's fight. You don't get paid enough for that. Like, still trying to pretend everything's. I was like, okay, I have been there. Like, quietly fighting, quietly fighting. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, but definitely the show is tearing them up.
Okay. I feel differently. I feel like this was a reason just to go ahead and divorce, because then they'll be able to see themselves on camera.
Yeah.
I
think
their marriage must have been falling apart before.
I think it was bad before. I am of the school of thought that we've been saying, where it's like he's pulling a Kelsey, where it's like, I don't even think that it's like where Kelsey, like Camille helped him get his life together and was the love of his life for like 10 years, and then he got a younger model. I think Todd, it's like he was kind of like an old-timey baron who took in, a young woman in trouble and her daughter, and like, they were his wards and he helped raise them. And then when the young daughter leaves, it's like, well, now young woman, you are okay. It's like, Jean Valjean and Fantine. Like,
except
like, off you go.
Except he looks like he wants to murder her sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's gonna like remarry a younger model. I think he's just old and he just wants peace. He just wants to be alone.
He wants to be home with his slippers on and
just being on the board of his companies, collecting his checks,
Anyway, so that's Bronwyn's first couple fights.
Yes. Okay. So then Heather and Whitney make up too. They're such like, it's such bullshit. Their whole like friendship. It's so clearly an alliance.
It's an alliance and it's a codependence. Even if they are mad at each other, they can't like be without each other. It's like watching Kyle Richards be like not, like not having boring as her. Like that.
Yes. Well, it's very like Kyle and Erica, where it's like, or Erica and Dorit, where it's like,
oh my God.
Are they friends in real life? I don't think so. But it's like they're always going to have each other's backs on the show because it serves their interests.
Yeah, exactly. It's so annoying.
And then if they have a fight, it's going to be staged. And then whenever there is a fight that isn't staged, it's like the other one gets furious because it's like, you didn't tell me we were going to stage this fight.
Right. Yeah. But I will say, like, Heather and Whitney have actually given us things.
That's true. Oh,
And they
100%.
still do.
It's way
They
better
still do. It's
than
just that everyone's so good on the show, especially this season, where it's just like Heather's a little exhausting to me and
yeah.
Whitney's a little exhausting to me.
Yeah, agreed. Whitney, oh yeah, so then they're like, being like, we're fine, we're
"Oh,
fine.
we're
And then
fine, we're fine, we're good."
Lisa comes up and is like, trying to get in the mix. And then Whitney just like, don't fucking interrupt me, Lisa.
I'm talking to my cousin. Yeah.
And then she's like, like Lisa's like, lies,
Look,
you make up things and you lie. And then
I
Bronwyn and
love
Brittany,
her.
we go over to this newfound alliance. Bronwyn's like, who knew that I'd be friends with you guys, the other first year cast members who are total flop
Yeah,
losers.
total flops. And then Brittany's so happy. She's like, "Oh my gosh, me and Bronwyn, we're friends now." And then Bronwyn's like, "I am gonna dismantle and implode this friendship in 3 minutes."
Yes, it's so funny. Brittany, I love Brittany on this show because she's so
She's so
like a
Sheena.
lamb with wolves.
She is
Yes,
Sheena to
she's
me.
so
And I was trying to
Sheena.
figure out, who are you?
And the
She's
Osmond is
Sheena.
Rob.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. And yeah,
she's
now
so
we said it.
smitten. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not into her, but she is willing to like
Do
get rid of
whatever
her
it takes.
kids
He
for
won't
him.
say that. Yeah, he doesn't tell me I love you, but I know that he does.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we see that Osmond at Toco Madera, we know what's going
We know
on.
what's up. Yeah, if
We
we
know
see
what's
him hanging
happening.
a TV in 7 minutes, we know that
We know
Brittany is a
we've seen this.
goner.
I think I've seen this film before.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then all the girls kind of like meet up and these new alliances are happening. Like Angie
Mhm.
grabs Lisa's arm, Bronwyn grabs Brittany's arm. It's like just to really show us who's with who right now. And
Right.
then Angie says, Bronwyn like thinks I'm a bad person. And Brittany's like, well, you are. You basically called me a slut. And then Bronwyn lets go, rips her hand away from Brittany, runs over to the Angie side and said, she
Yeah.
also called Angie a slut before. And then Angie, that really sets Angie off.
Okay.
A nice Greek girl like her, she says she gets very triggered with these accusations.
this is a Star is Born to me.
Yeah,
This is her moment. This is why she was center snowflake.
And this is, I think, the almost like, I mean, recency bias, but probably the quote of the year, like the iconic classic Housewives quote of the year.
We're gonna quote this forever.
Yeah.
Where
Where
I have the fucking chills.
It very much reminds me of Lisa's hot mic moments where she just keeps going, can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, your family who poses.
But her version of your family who poses is well, you call me a slut. I don't look and dress and have hair like I have a high body count. Those are high body count dress, high body count hair, high body count heels. And then Bronwyn's like, now attacks Angie and is like, you're Versace, your nipples hanging out. And Angie's like, no, she has high body count boobs. And Lisa's like, no, you just shamed her hair. Like, that's like the tragedy of all this.
Yeah, you have slutty hair.
And then Brittany's so upset. Brittany's like, we do get a hot mic moment from her and Brooks Marks. She's like, I'm leaving. And she said, my hair and my dress and my tits are slutty. And Brooks is like, you look beautiful.
You look beautiful. You shouldn't get slut shamed at my mom's bat mitzvah.
And then immediately goes to Meredith to report that Angie's been a bad girl.
Yeah, Angie's been a bad girl, that she was slut shaming Brittany. And you know what Meredith says? If you slut shame somebody, you can
leave. And okay, so also I just want to mention that an underrated part of Angie's rant is they cut back to her after Brittany's left and she's still going on Melee, and she's like you actually have it too. It's called a bump it. You have a bump it in your hair, and that's high body count.
High body count hair. But then what made it even so good is Brittany's like going around the party sobbing about being slut shamed hair, and then Lisa's like, you do need to get a keratin treatment.
Yeah, you do need a Kerastase Thermatique. I love that she had like the exact brand. Like she really is a sponsorship. But honestly, Lisa's hair always looks amazing.
Yeah.
Barely ever see the track.
Right. So, it does not have high body count hair.
It does not.
And you know what? I didn't realize until Angie said that in that moment that she does like that. In fact, Brittany does have high body count hair. If I had to think of like porn slutty hair, it is what Brittany was rocking.
Yeah. I mean, again, I would argue that Whitney has the more porn look, like overall head to toe.
High body count hair.
High body count. Just like professional sex worker costume going on. But I do, it's more they're saying like she it's very like, you know, like Lisa said, it's kind of a Jersey look. You know, like she likes the little, like it was very popular on OC circa like 2016, the little like Lhasa Apso Shih Tzu, tiny little
Or like
ponytail with the big curls.
Teresa's wedding hair.
Teresa's wedding
That's
hair.
high
Yeah.
body count hair.
That's literally
And it's
high.
bumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
count the inches of how
Yeah.
tall it is.
No,
It's like
you
8
have
dicks high, as we were
8
saying,
dicks
because we
high.
counted dicks.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't record that part, but I was saying I don't understand measurements unless they're dicks.
Exactly.
Right.
So then Meredith is, you can leave for your slut shaming. And I love that she was anticipating she would get this opportunity. So she hired two like big security, like Prison.com.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not making the same mistake again where I tell a waiter to escort someone out when I'm espresso martini drunk. This time I will have security there.
Security at my daytime event.
She loves banishing. She loves guards and she loves banishing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, she loves that. And I think she really loved it was Angie K. And then Angie K was like, I don't have to be escorted. I can walk. See, I'm walking.
Yes. And then she realizes halfway out, she's like, this is Britney's coat, not mine, and throws it on the ground.
And throws it on the floor. And then she's hanging out in the lobby for a while talking to Lisa about a trip.
Yes. So then Angie's like still ranting, and Lisa recognizes this is much like the hot mic moment.
She's
like, that tacky bitch showed up at my anniversary party, and Lisa's like, stop saying stuff you'll regret.
Yeah, she's like, she didn't bring a gift to my anniversary party, and she's like, stop saying things you'll regret. Like, when Lisa said you fucked half of New York and your family poses, you don't own a home.
Yeah, she's like, I've been here, sweetie.
That's like not giving me a gift.
Yeah.
That's the same.
So then, Sean comes out and they're leaving together, and Angie's like, where's my phone? He's like, I don't know. And they just leave without her.
Leave without her phone. Yeah.
Like, whatever. Honey, been there.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
These two big security guards are not going to let you back into this religious event.
Yes.
They're serving ham.
Yes. While inside, Meredith's like, these accusations are vile.
Yeah. Yeah.
And God sees her.
And then we get some great editing.
Yes. Okay. So then we have Lisa and Meredith kind of in the aftermath, like Lisa being like, this level of accusations, it's so crazy.
Right.
Oh, well, see you in Puerto Vallarta. And then we cut to Lisa, like in confessional, like rewind. And like Lisa's like smiling, and she's just the perfect person to deliver this, where she's like, wow, this is crazy. Mare hates Angie. Bravo hates Angie. Angie hates Britney. And I hate Whitney. She says with like a big smile. Like, I hate Whitney.
But I can plan a great trip.
Yeah, but what you guys don't know is before this, I planned the ultimate girls trip to Puerto Vallarta. And then it's like her, let's go to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, I was thinking about when we all went to Palm Springs that I could throw a great trip in Puerto Vallarta.
I don't know that everyone would be fighting before. It's like, well, I mean,
yeah,
well, it still would have happened. Yeah. It was very like, like, you're probably wondering why I got here. That's me, Lisa Barlow.
In front of my Mac computer, planning a trip to Puerto Vallarta.
Sipping a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
So great, like a really strong, like a last 5 minutes of like insanity for the ages.
So good. Yeah. The dropping her coat, like Angie dropping Britney's coat, like made it even that much more special.
Yeah.
There were so many iconic moments.
See, what really gets me, Meredith's just like flair for the dramatic, because she's just in full drama mode of like how important this ceremony is.
I know.
And that
it's like a buffet. Like it's a buffet.
Yeah.
Where people are eating sliced ham.
Yeah. And that it worked out exactly how she thought, and she did get to banish someone after, she was waiting for it after feeling like she was banished from Mary's.
Right.
And Mary was like, I'm not banishing you.
I didn't want you to go. I'm mad that you left. And yeah, I mean, just like everything was so crazy over the top, from the outfits to being like the horse-drawn sleigh to Mary's like peering through peeping Tom moments. Like all the
time.
fights.
All time.
And the high body count hair. I mean,
yeah. It reminds me a lot of a season we recap recently, the finale. It reminds me a lot of the Tamra and Gina assist and deceased fight in the finale, where it's like, oh, we're like, it's really all building to this insane last 5 minutes of pure bedlam.
Right.
Da, 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 da,
Da, da, da,
da,
da, da,
da.
da. Uh,
What grade would you give this
oh
episode?
my God, are you kidding me? This is an A plus. This is gonna go down as an all-timer. Like,
Yeah.
it's just from beginning. I know that you thought the beginning was slow, but I liked it just because I was like I did like the clips of like Meredith talking about, studying to read Hebrew when she's just reading like the
The phonetics.
phonetics. Yeah.
And I do think that like so much has been happening this season that
Yeah.
it was good. That's always my thing with Salt Lake, where sometimes I'm like, oh, so much shit is happening, it's a little hard to follow, and alliances are changing so quickly just because everyone wants it to be a
It's
good
like
show so
It's kind of
bad.
like old Roni, where it's like so much is happening, we don't even have time to catch our breath sometimes. I mean, the episode that happened before this one was like really intense.
Really insane. Yeah, and so that's why we had to spend some time just kind of rehashing.
Digesting. Yeah.
But it really built to like an authentically
Right.
insane.
It's just
And
such an all-timer.
yeah.
Yeah. And I've never and I can't get over the ham. Even if it wasn't at a bat mitzvah, I've never seen sliced ham
Oh,
at
you
a
haven't at like a
party.
wedding or something?
Not
Like
on one of these shows.
oh yeah, I've never seen like a carving station with
At a carving
ham.
station with
Yeah.
just ham.
Yeah.
Usually if it's a carving station, it's like prime rib or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, not ham. Not just
Yeah.
like sliced ham and caviar. Or sliced ham and caviar bat mitzvah for the
Mhm.
ages.
With raclette. With
raclette.
metal truff raclette.
Raclette. I thought it was a common thing. Yeah, that like even Brooks not realizing that not everybody knows what raclette is like
Is
so
wild.
good. Like
Yeah.
he's genuinely like, what? Like it's like you said, like you don't know what a French fry is.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I thought it was like a common thing.
All right. Well, we've reached the end of the episode. Follow us on TikTok at Bravo_breakdowns. Follow us on Instagram at Bravo_breakdowns. And oh, there's one more thing I want to shout out to. I forgot to do it in the recap, but I want to shout out to my friend Pallavi Gunalan, a comedian who's going to be on the podcast in January. But she did point out that the funniest part of Meredith's speech was when she was like, I hope that this will bring all of us, this mitzvah will bring all of us together. Jews, Muslims, Christians, gay, straight, all of the religions. And she's like, are gay and straight religions?
They are.
They
and
are.
if you don't believe that, you can leave.
You can leave. God sees her.
Mm-hmm. Before I
Okay.
talk about the rumors and nastiness.
The rumors and nastiness. All right, so we reached the end of the episode. Episode of ours ends with an oral exam. Michele, would you like to do one?
Yeah, let me think about this. Okay, I think I know. I think I get it.
All right, this is Michele Baber's oral exam. Her time starts now.
In this essay, I will prove that we need to have all eyes on Annalyn McCord right now more than ever. And I feel like we did have eyes on her maybe a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
When or a couple years ago, remember when she did her really famous monologue to Vladimir Putin about if I was your mother, Vladimir Putin, and it was, it was a great little monologue.
Slam poetry. Yeah.
Slam poetry. We need her back. I just feel like I was in a better place mentally, and I couldn't figure out when I was talking to my therapist the other day about what has changed. And I think that she's just not being discussed in pop culture right now when she's given us a lot. The multiple, what was it? DID.
Mm-hmm.
She has DID. She wants to be Vladimir Putin's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And her great work on the new 90210, which I never saw, but she was also she was also engaged to Miley Cyrus's mom's current husband.
And yes, they had a wild relationship.
Dominic Purcell.
They were big in the BDSM community.
Right.
And I did
one
have
of
the
her
pleasure
altars.
One of her altars. I did have the pleasure of watching her on the new 90210, and I must say she was the standout. It was very Elizabeth Berkley and Showgirls.
Perfect.
Whereas everyone else was like, they're all on like Lifetime. Well, she's actually been in some Lifetime movies and given some very, Naomi Showgirls type performances.
Good.
So if you need your Annalyn McCord fix, look no further than lifetimetv.com, Michele. And I think that might get you right.
I think
season.
This holiday season.
Yeah.
It won't be the new happy lamp I bought.
Yes. Oh, and thank you for that.
I bought you a happy lamp too.
Yeah. So it's
it's not my ring light.
So wait, so when I use it, I can't be looking at screens. Do you look directly at the happy light? Because that makes me see.
Can.
Right.
Well, I think you can just like have it over here, but you're not
Okay,
supposed to be like, you're not supposed to be looking on the screen because that has like blue light and it's not good for you. Like we
I
need
see.
that type of light to like help our brains know when it's time to sleep and stuff.
Okay,
It's like
I
our
definitely
phones
need
and
that.
everything else is not giving us that, right?
Okay. Why don't they
Ring
just
lights.
simply make our phones out of the happy light?
Well, because I don't think it's too bright to like look at or something.
Oh,
It's like the
yeah.
sun. It's like replacing sunshine.
I see. Okay. Okay. Well, now that
It's like
I
walking on sunshine.
Whoa. Okay. All right. This is Lauren Davis's oral exam. My time starts now. Okay. In this essay, I will prove in this season of Survivor, Sue is the funniest character that's ever been on Survivor. I even think she's funnier than Coach. Michele, when I tell you, okay, so she finds an idol, right? A hidden immunity idol, and it's covered in red paint. So when she opens it, red paint explodes all over her. She is a 60-year-old woman who's telling everyone she's 45 to be better at the game, but clearly 60. And she's like, they all believe I'm 45. And it cuts to them being like, 40, okay, yeah. Like they just think she's lying about her age because you lie about your age when you're older, but like she's like, for game purposes. Anyway, so she is covered in what looks like blood, this 60-year-old woman. And everyone's like, oh my God, Sue, are you okay? And she's like, oh yeah, I was just, messing around with a machete and cut myself. Looks
Oh
like
my
she's
God.
hemorrhaging and dying. They're like, Jesus Christ, Sue. She's like, no, I'm fine. So hilarious. So many hijinks. She's also always covered in dirt and mud because she's using it as contour and looks like a coal miner. And also she has a lot of like malapropism. She forgets everyone's names. And she was like, if we do this move, it'll be so girl boss moves. Yeah. She's basically like the meme of hello, fellow kids. And she's mother. And I'm so grateful for her. And I love her. And I want her on Housewives. She owns a
Well,
flight school.
she sounds incredible. I'm glad that you found happiness. I still won't watch competition reality TV, especially
Mm.
not on CBS. After what they did to Les Moonves, I can't.
Yeah, you're such a lesbian.
I've always been I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
That's a joke, guys. I don't
Mm-hmm.
condone any of his behavior.
Yeah.
Thank
Is he dead
you.
yet? He's dead, right?
Just in the hearts and minds of his victim.
Right. Who would have thought of all people, Les Moonves would have been
Who would
corrupt?
have thought like a powerful old white man would have done such heinous things?
Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
Next you're going to tell me that there was sexual assault at Fox News.
Or
Yeah, or Scott Rudin's production company. I don't remember
or
what it
Girls
was.
Gone Wild.
Oh man, we need to do Miami. That's what we should recap Miami, the old seasons,
Oh my God.
with all of our new Miami connections through
I
Christian
know.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will. We never finished OC.
Yeah, we've got to do OC first.
We got to do that. That's our New Year's resolution is to get through
through
the
it.
cancer
We'll get through
years.
it, you guys. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's the best years. We can really do those probably.
We
I
can.
don't even think we need to recap them in 2. We can really, those
Yeah, we
really
can-
fly by,
Like we can just be like, this is season 9. This is when Shannon arrived, and this is season 10 when Vicky faked cancer.
Because the thing is, we've talked about season 10 so much already.
much.
There's not a ton left to say.
Yeah, it's
We could
but
really
it is
speed through.
it's one of the all
It's an
timer,
all-timer. It might
Yeah.
be my favorite season.
It's so good. I'm being nailed to the cross like Jesus was, and he did nothing wrong.
Yep.
He did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong. And
He did nothing
she's
wrong.
not wrong.
Yeah,
She's-
he did nothing wrong.
Yeah. And now we said it.
And now we
All
said
right.
it.
Love you guys.
Mm.
Bye.